Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, it's just a video that I'm going to title Hindsight. Hindsight is 2020 when it comes to most things in life, but especially when it comes to me and trying crochet hair. Now, I've had this channel for almost 4 years. It's almost 4 years coming up in July, so that means almost 4 years of trying crochet hair. I never tried crochet hair before coming on and turning on this camera in July of 2016, so I had no frame of reference for trying some of the hairs that I tried. I had nothing to compare it to, and now almost 30 hairs deep, over 30 hairs deep, 4 years in it. Sometimes the way I feel about a hair as I was trying it is not the way I feel about it now. And so I wanted to come on here and address a few hairs that I've tried in the past and that I might be questioning, hey, was I accurate in my thoughts of that hair? Was I bringing you everything I could possibly bring you in my reviews of those hairs? And the first hair that I'm going to definitely start out with is the first hair that I ever tried on this channel, and that's the Freetress Deep Twist. Let's revisit Freetress Deep Twist for a minute. Now, a lot of you guys more recently have been watching my first video, which is crazy. That's the first video I ever filmed on YouTube. I'm whispering in that video. It's really different than my content now, and of course I'm whispering in that video because I didn't think YouTube was going to be a thing for me. I was trying to record very silently so my roommate couldn't hear me, but I was talking about that Freetress Deep Twist. Now, that is the only hair that I've tried on this channel 2 times. I tried that hair twice. I tried it back to back before deciding, hey, I want to make this YouTube a thing, and so I want to try different hair, so I can't keep trying the same hair over and over again. So I tried Freetress Deep Twist twice, wore it for 5 weeks one time, 3 weeks the other time. Got it because I was going on a cruise and I really enjoyed it on my cruise. But it's the first hair I ever tried. I had nothing to compare that hair to. And looking back on it, hindsight, that hair was very soft. It's a very soft hair, and that's something I might not and probably didn't address in that video because I didn't have a frame of reference for what soft was versus roughness. So that's one thing I will say. Very much so not the easiest hair to separate. Now, the first time I ever got that hair installed, it was by a family friend. I did not do that myself. The second time I got it installed, my mom had did it. Never had installed a crochet hair before, but I was like, well, my friend did it. All she did was braid my hair down and put hair in. I think you can do it. And then my mom was like, let's try it, girl. And so that's the second time I tried crochet hair. I used maybe 5 packs the second time, 3 packs the first time. Again, 2 different people installing the hair brought on 2 different results. I really love that hair, but 2 things, or 2 main things I want to address, maybe even 3 things I want to address. Very soft hair. Did not address that in that video. 2, very much so a hair that you can get in varying lifts. I believe when I tried it, they didn't have this 12-inch pre-loop section that they have. When I tried it, don't believe they had the pre-loop. Now they do have the pre-loop. And the third thing I'll say is that hair may not be the easiest to kind of knot. You might have to knot it several times. I've gotten so many comments on that video years later saying, hey, did you have any trouble with knotting the hair? And again, didn't install either of those hairs because at that time I didn't know how to install hairs, but I could see that hair being a hair that's going to be harder to kind of loop together. Now, that is a hair that is on my list to retry in 2020. You guys know I don't retry hairs, but that is a hair that I want to retry simply because it was my first hair, because it was a hair that I didn't have a lot of reference with, and I want to try it on my 4th year anniversary. So I'll probably try that sometime around June of this year. So I want to repeat that hair. I'm not going to repeat a lot of hairs. I get a lot of questions to repeat Main Concept Waterfall or other hairs, and I'm like, I felt the way I felt about those hairs at that time, and there's no hindsight when it comes to that hair. That hair, the way I felt about it then is the way I'm going to feel about it now. But Freetress Deep Twist, just because I did not know anything before, I want to try it now with my eyes open, having tried 30 plus hairs and having that frame of reference, and review it and bring you guys an updated review of that, just because that hair has sentimental value to me and this channel. Now, a hair I won't be retrying in 2020, but it is a hair that I look back on and maybe there are things I could have did differently with it, and it is the Zuri Congo curl. Now, you guys know I wore that hair the least amount that I've ever worn a hair on this channel. What was that, less than 7 days? Yeah, that hair was a hot mess to me, but a lot of people love that hair. You guys know in multiple videos I talked about how people slay in that hair, look good in that hair. With me, it just didn't work. In hindsight, what I would change, again, not retrying that hair, but what I would change is maybe separating the hair a little bit more. That's one thing I'll say. 1 pack was enough for me. me. One pack got me good and through, but some people use half of one pack for that, and it's because they separated the hair very, very small. Again, a lot of people who like the hair separated the hair a lot more than I did in my video. So one thing you can change about Zuri Congo curl that's a little different from what I did, separate the hair out a little more. If you want it to look like the package, actually install like how the package suggests and put that 8, 9, and 10. I did a reverse and I did 10, 9, and 8, but again, you can do it any way you want to, but I've seen people install it the 8, 9, 10 way and love it that way as well. So again, maybe a different install pattern than I did. Also going in with the mindset that is a little bit more of a rigid texture here. Maybe it was rigid because I installed it in the full kind of body of it. Maybe it wouldn't be as rigid if I had separated the hair. So going into it with it could be rigid, or if you separate it, it could not be rigid. Maybe a mindset that you need to go into. Again, I wore that hair for about 3-4 days, so I didn't even give it a chance. It was too rough for me. I'm one of these people who I wear crochet hair in my real life, and I have to feel confident about wearing a hair in my real life. If not, there's no point of it. Of course, I make content for you guys and I want you guys to enjoy it, but again, I walk out in this world and I have to go to career fairs. My job is a campus recruiter. I have to sell kids on my company, my real life job, and I have to present myself in a way that I feel confident in. And sometimes I don't feel confident when my hair ain't looking good, and my hair wasn't looking good, so I was not feeling confident in that hair. But I've seen so many people actually feel confident in that hair, look good in that hair. Now number 3, Kima Ripple Deep. Now that is another hair. There are only 2 hairs on this list that I will retry, and that's the second one, Kima Ripple Deep. You guys know I did not like that hair. That is a polarizing opinion because so many people do like that hair. They love that hair and the ocean wave hair. I did not like Ripple Deep, and I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. That's probably why I stay away from ocean wave, because I'm so scared that I'm gonna hate it and you guys are going to rip me apart if I hate ocean wave. So I haven't tried it yet. I am gonna try it. Trust me, I'm going to try that hair. It is on my 2020 try list, but I haven't tried it yet, and you guys begged me to, and I feel like because I hated Ripple Deep so much. Oh, I'm not hated. Hated is a strong word. I disliked Ripple Deep a lot. So again, I want to retry it though without trying any product, because you guys know I love the soft dread. The Harlem 125 Kima soft dread, love that hair. Didn't use a single cent of product. And in my Ripple Deep video, a lot of you guys said that's where I went wrong. I was using product. At that time, I was product heavy. And there was not a hair that I tried that I did not use product in, but you guys were like, no, maybe water at best, but you do not need product in that hair. So I'm like, oh, I want to retry it and actually not put product in and see if I have a different result. Now I could dislike it all over again, or I could love it, but I do want to see how I feel about that hair because it was a beautiful curl. Now if you guys want to know what curl I have in now, you've already checked that description box, right? You've already went down below, you know what hair it is. All I did was spray the ends with that spray color the same way I did in my human hairstyles video. I'll link that video up above so you can see how I got the color. You probably already seen the review for this, so you already know what's going on with this hair. But with that hair, had a beautiful curl, almost similar to that, but of course that being, you know, a fully synthetic hair, that hair was always like that. So beautiful curl. It just, for me, I was not in love with it and I was not impressed with it. But again, going back to what I said, I will try it again without product. So this is the only other hair that I'll ever retry on this channel, and I probably will retry it in 2020 this year as well. Now, Freetress Water Wave. Now that hair is on this list for none other reason than the fact that I should have worn it short. That hair, the way I felt about it in that review video, is exactly how I feel about it today. Nothing has changed other than the fact that I should have worn that hair short. That's not a hair that is meant to be worn in its full 22 inches. That hair was so long. What was I thinking? I was such a newbie in crochet hair world at that point. I think maybe that was my 4th crochet hair, so I just thought everything was meant to be worn long. Don't even know why that hair comes that long, quite honestly, because it's a mess if you wear it that long. Now I liked it. I was a long hair fan. You guys know I love a long hair, but that's not a hair that should be worn long. But I did eventually learn my lesson and then cut that hair up. So you guys saw when it was cut up, loved it short. Hair works phenomenally short. And so in hindsight, what I will say is always wear that hair short. If possible, they probably have a shorter version of that hair now, because again, Freetress has a lot of shorter versions of their hair now. I probably would get a hair that's 14 inches and just rock it out that way, as opposed to me wearing a 22-inch Freetress Water Wave. No, that was not the move. So again, sometimes even though a hair comes longer, In hindsight, I'm realizing you don't have to wear it that long. It might not be meant for that. Hindsight, Freetress Water Wave, still love it. Still a phenomenal hair. Just a hair that should have used less packs and should have been worn a lot shorter. Next hair, Sensational Party Curl. That is probably one of 2 videos on this channel that I did not record in my normal fashion, where I did 1 day, 1 week, and final thoughts. Now, at that time, I was playing around with my style. I was like, do people really like me doing this first day, first week, and final thoughts? Nobody else does it. Are people really feeling me in that style? So I said, why not just do kind of a all thoughts in one kind of video type of deal, and then just move on. I think at the time of recording that was my 1 week in, and I recorded the whole video in 1 day. You guys did not like that. You said go ahead back to that 1 day, 1 week, and final thoughts. You guys love that format, which thank you guys for that feedback, because I never have done that since. But again, that video, I wish I had done in my normal format, because at the time of recording that video, I liked the hair. It was amazing. It was my birthday hair, I think, of that year. What was that, 2017, 2016, whatever year it was, 2016, I believe. That was my birthday hair. Loved it the day I recorded it. Oh, by the end, I hated it. And I can kind of go ahead and lump Sensational Island Curl in that box as well, because that hair was in that same kind of family. It just frizzed a lot after wearing it for a while. You know, at 1 week, it was still doing well. 2 weeks, it was, you know, a frizz ball. It was a very much so frizzy hair. That hair is extremely soft. So the hindsight in that is hindsight of, I need to present to you guys the way I present to you guys. Now, that's the only way it's going to be helpful and effective, because if I come on here and just share with you how the hair works on its first day or its first week, it's not going to be effective for you guys. I know a lot of you guys urge me to put out videos quicker, but I can't put out videos quicker while at the same time presenting the most accurate information for you. You guys can't have it both ways. You can't have the review immediately and at the same time have all the information. Those two things don't coincide. So again, the hindsight in that was, I need to film the way I film currently, because the way I feel about that party curl hair on that 1 week was the way I felt. The way I felt about it, I believe, on this 4th week was not the same way. Number 6, the Janet Collection Perm Peruvian hair. Now that hair, looking back on my photos of that hair and that time that I wore that hair, it does not look good. It does not photograph well. That hair might work well in a micro braid situation, probably works very well in a tree braid situation. Looking back at every picture that I took in the Janet Collection Perm Peruvian hair, I think I was falling in love with the hair, wasn't falling in love with the knottage, and that's the situation with it. It's not going to look realistic. The fact that I can have a lot of hairs that look realistic and that hair just doesn't look realistic, and some people probably don't see the issue in it, but if you know me and you know this channel, I like realisticness. I like my hairline to look very realistic. I like you to have to be up on me, do an investigation to tell that I'm wearing crochet hair. What's that hair? You can see pretty obviously. Yep, that's crochet hair. Yep. You know, it's 100% crochet hair. So now, since then, having tried a lot more realistic hairs, trying the fresh wand curl since then, trying so many hairs since then, and falling in love with the naturalness of them, the unnaturalness of that hair is a turnoff to me. So that is why that hair is making this list. It's because it just doesn't look natural as a crochet hair. Again, may work perfectly well in a micro braids, tree braids, invisible braids type situation. It's not the perfect, most perfect crochet hair that you're gonna find for a natural looking hairline crochet hair. And the last hair on my list, and I'm gonna lump in several hairs, so get ready. It's going to be that Freetress Ringlet one. It's going to be that Sensational Jamaican Bounce. It's going to be that Mady Beauty Fantasy Pop hair. And about all the other hairs that you guys request me to try. The Collagen hair. The, what other hair have I not tried, but you guys always suggest. The Outre Senova Bounce hair. The little short bobbity boops hairs. Now, I'm not saying I hate those hairs. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those hairs. I'm saying my personality just doesn't gel well with those hairs. But you guys always want me to try it. And then I think you're always disappointed that I don't run out and love it to the moon. I didn't hate the Fantasy Pop hair by Mady Beauty. It just wasn't me. I didn't hate Freetress Ringlet one. It just wasn't me. I didn't hate Jamaican Bounce by Sensational. It just wasn't me. And what I mean is those, you know, short little bobbity boop hairs. Now, so many people like those hairs. So many of my audience love those hairs. And so many of you guys request me to try other hairs in that same genus, in that same family. but it's not me. So I don't feel like I shine in those hairs. I don't feel like I present to you guys the way I would present to you guys this hair. The boisterousness that comes with the longer hair doesn't come through with one of those shorter hairs. And I feel so bad because it's like, it's not a bad hair. It's not a bad hair. Again, going back to feeling confident in a hair. You guys give me so many compliments like, girl, I don't know what you talking about. That hair look good on you. Oh, that short hair looks good on you. And it's one of those things where everybody can tell you it looks good, but you just don't feel like you look right in it. And it's just not your personal style. You know, there's so many styles that my mom wears and I love it. And I'm like, Ma, you slaying, but she just doesn't feel confident. And I'm like, why? Because you look so good. That's the same thing that goes into those ringlet wands, the Jamaican bounces, the fantasy pops. That's probably going to go into the Collagen hair. I feel so bad when I'm trying those hairs because I'm wearing them solely for you guys. I'm trying them for you guys because you guys want me to try them. And I'm like, it's not my personality. But I have this channel and I present to you guys what you guys want to see. But at the same time, it's not what I want to wear. So again, I lump those all together because I feel like looking back at those videos, my tone is the same in every single one. It's like, it's cute. I love the color. I like it. And I know so many of you guys will like it. So I'm trying to evaluate it on the way the hair holds up and not evaluate it on my internal feelings about those hairs. So hindsight, I have to be more cognizant. If I present to you guys a short kind of curly cute hair, I have to be cognizant of evaluate the hair. You guys always suggest for me, have you tried the Collagen hair? It says on the package it's 26 inches, so that's long, right? Now the thing about those hairs is that they say they're like 26 inches. Like the Jamaican bounce hair, that's 26 inches. You guys saw it on me. It was not no 26 inches. They're talking about how it looks stretched out. So you guys were like, no, Collagen goes up to 26, 28 inches. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not like down here. You know, I like a longer hair. I think I would like a hair that came down here. You guys know how I liked about Model Fresh Wand Curl. It's probably in the same family as all these other, you know, Freetress ringlet wands and the outright scent of a bounce, but it's longer and the length is what drew me in. I like a curl like that, but I need it to be, you know, 14, 16 actual inch. Now Model Fresh Wand, it was 14 inches on the package and it came long. Sensational Jamaican Bounce said 26 inches. It wasn't 26 inches. It was about up to here. And they calculate their curl through stretch. A lot of curls calculate their lengths in different ways. They calculate it either by how it looks stretched out or how it actually is. That Model Fresh Wand was calculating how long it actually was. Again, I would be so happy if they made a Jamaican Bounce that was, you know, down to here. Love it if they did. I probably would retry it and my feelings might change drastically because of the length of it. Again though, those are just my personal feelings with those shorter texture hair. Hindsight is sometimes you got to take what I say with a grain of salt when it comes to those shorter hairs. I hate to say that, but sometimes just go for it with those hairs. Just realize Leah is a different person than me, so the way she feels about it and the way she feels about a long hair is the way I feel about a short hair, and vice versa. I know you guys out there don't like long hairs a lot of times. I like a long hair, and that's okay. Sometimes just cut the hairs that I'm wearing in half and you're gonna be good to go. Now, those have been the, I believe, 8, 9, 10, however many hairs that I presented to you guys that hindsight is 2020 on. Again, 2 of those hairs I'll be retrying, and if you want to see me retry them, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss any of this good content I present for you guys. I think I present some pretty good content to you guys, and if you agree with me, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Even if you don't agree with me, give it a big thumbs up. We want all the love and support over here on this channel. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at LeahLevon89 so you can keep up with my shenanigans in real time, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Me, I no go lose control. Bad man, I feel your flow. Wine and flow.